So that's the other thing. Then the other part also, just for excellence, is you as the owner, when you're extracting your wealth from the business, that 20%, you also need to have a high savings rate because you don't know how long your business is going to be doing well. And one of the problems businesses have is when owners, what we say, slaughter the cow too early when it's a calf. So your business hasn't grown enough and you're busy trying to extract food and everything out of it, and every single expense in your life is an expense put on your business. So you as the individual needs to build your cash reserve. You need to build your own asset reserve outside of your business from the money that you get from your business directly, that 20% or at least the salary that you get. So that's really where I wanted to just leave it for now. Those are some things I want you to think about of how to use capital markets. And the second part of your question was risks. Biggest risks that we're seeing today in the capital markets and just even markets in general. The first one is geopolitical risk. You need to understand what's happening around the world because people get shocked when they see the fuel price. They'll say, but the cost of transporting things, where has that come from? Because there was a war that started somewhere else months before. And if you paid attention, you would have been able to start to see, my transportation costs are going to pick up in the next couple of months. And therefore, you start to prepare. Unfortunately, we have what we call a social activist community society where everything that goes wrong is time for us to go to Facebook and chant to what the government must do. You're an entrepreneur. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever the government is doing and doesn't do doesn't matter to you. You must prepare for things. That's all you're getting information for. Not for the next debate cycle, but for preparation purposes. So if you know prices are going up, then you also know how to adjust your prices. You also know if you have the room to adjust your prices. And if you don't, then you need to start looking at creating cost-cutting measures inside your own business altogether. So understanding how President Trump walking into power has now fractured a lot of the geopolitical cohesion that was going on is going to create a lot of geo competition around the world, armaments around the world. Inflation globally is not going to come down as easily as it used to. So even global inflation holds. What does that mean? It means interest rates remain slightly higher. We're in a regime called higher for longer. So get used to interest rates being in at least 10% above inflation. Also get used to the fact that inflation globally is going to remain a little bit high. That is the life that we're living in right now. Also get used to the fact of forex risk. When you have America first as a policy, do you know what that does? It makes the dollar stronger. So when you're doing your business, understand that, understand the cycles of how the exchange rate moves. Like, for example, on average, we've studied that the exchange rate increases, the dollar in Zambia increases by 2 to 5% every January. So these are numbers you need to know about. And then when you're doing your financial planning where you've got imports, you need to say, what is the expected exchange rate based on the expected movements? So we've even done month-to-month mapping of what expected movements they are. So in the markets, what we're expecting is a high interest, is not a very high interest environment, but it's not coming down fast anytime soon. And it's something you all have to come to grips with. So what is the most important thing in business now? One, growth. Growth is the single most important thing